like Radio Free Fargo. To learn more about what underwriting is, please contact us at our website, www.radiofreefargo.org, or at our profile on Facebook. Why not let listeners know that you support the community by supporting a community radio station like 95.9 FM? And it is 4 o'clock. Hello and welcome, everybody, to this beautiful Thursday. It's Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. I'm Wilson. We talk about cannabis, the benefits of cannabis, cannabis legalization, and just general news that most people don't cover. Like, WDAY ain't going to cover the coke, the surfboard's full of cocaine. It's not necessarily a cannabis story, but it's interesting, isn't it? And it's not like here in the state of North Dakota we got any major legalization push. Minnesota's done its thing, so I'm just trying to fill your hour with news, essentially, and talk about the benefits of cannabis, because I believe God put cannabis here for us to use as we see fit, and there's millions of things that it fits into, and there's millions of studies you can look at, a lot of personal testimonials that cannabis helps. And in fact, at 420, when we open a big fat bag of cannabis news, I'll talk about how the VA has decided, which is a federal organization which has been butting heads with vet out, from the conception that, cannabis helps vets, especially White Widow concentrates for PTSD disorders. Anyway, I show God, who created cannabis, his props every Sunday, Antioch Church, 417 Main Avenue, 10 a.m. We do a recovery class for y'all that's got the monkey knocked off your back, but you can still feel him on your pant leg, or he's just been hugging you like in a backhanded, a rear naked choke of dope. We got what you need there. Then 11 a.m. worship. So anyway, this show is brought to you by Black Cottage Alchemy, blackcottagealchemy.com, and Black Cottage Alchemy on Facebook. 1,600 mgs of CBD goes into a body butter. It's got all kinds of other herbs and spices. It's for that all-over stuff on your body. Anything funny, put it on there. Thank you, Black Cottage Alchemy, for sponsoring this show. Again, I don't know what is going on with the computer program, but at least I can still talk to y'all. Again, Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. 420, we'll open a big fat bag of cannabis news. On the other side of this song, I'll probably break you off something, too, just to wet the whistle when it comes to cannabis news. I'm going to play a little song, and I'm kind of excited about this. When my daughter was in town visiting, we were always about the VeggieTales, but I didn't realize Reliant K stinking did a cover of the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything. You're listening to KRFF 95.9. Here we go, I think. Well, what is the deal? Man, I'm having issues today, and I apologize for that. I got no idea what's going on, but I don't know. I don't know what's happening here, but I don't know how to refresh it either. So, I don't know. Maybe you're going to listen to me talk the whole stinking thing. I don't know about that. But it is what it is if it is what it is. So I don't know what to do here. But anyway, Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. You're listening to Wilson struggle through this Thursday without, I guess my music is no around. I can't play anything off the automation. So here we go. We're just going to talk through this whole hour. That's going to be rugged. That's going to be rugged, y'all. I hadn't planned for that. But I can't seem to, I suppose I can just try to, no, I can't do nothing. So, anyway, it is what it is. So, we'll just talk about cannabis. Cannabis, Minnesota, 23rd state to legalize. That was cool. August 1st, you're going to be able to possess, and the expungement's going to happen really fast. So that's cool. Yeah, we just kind of froze here. I don't know what the deal is, but, okay. All right. So, a whole hour of me just talking. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know what else I'm going to be able to do because, like I said, this, all right. I don't know. I don't know here. Let's talk about stuff, and I might have to figure out how to get out of here. But, let's see. And I apologize for being distracted because I've got ADD and I had a plan. And now that plan... okay, I'm just going to tell the people. Okay, all right, sorry. I just had to push some stuff off here. But anyway, cannabis moment. This is VA doctors could recommend medical cannabis to veterans in legal states under bill approved by Senate committee. A key U.S. Senate committee has approved a spending bill with an amendment allowing doctors at the Department of Veterans Affairs to discuss and recommend medical cannabis to patients living in legal states. And again, it's all just moving towards legalization. It's a nice push. It's kind of like, you gotta be about it. If the states that are legal, you're seeing benefits, and vets just start moving there, all of a sudden you just don't have your vets in your hospital anymore because they're getting benefits and relief somewhere else. Everybody's just going to do it. But the fact that it is a federally funded operation, there is, So I don't know what's going on, but it's not easy being cheesy. I'll tell you that. And I'm going to go dead air here a second so I can answer this phone call and try to solve these issues. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Now let's struggle back through this. But if anybody from the radio station is listening, I'm going to have to figure out how to make the radio station run before I leave, because right now we're the dead zone. And, I'm not going to tell you I've got anxiety because of it, but, I prefer when things go smoother. Don't we all? Can I get an amen? But anyway, so what are we talking about? The measure simply says in states that has a medical cannabis program that a veteran's doctor can talk to their vet patient about the pros and cons and fill out related paperwork should a veteran decide to participate. The Veterans Equal Access Act has been introduced several times in recent years. It's moved through committee and floor approval, but has yet to be enacted. So, and that's another thing that's coming up, is the descheduling potential. And if cannabis can be just descheduled and got off there, I mean, the fact that it's scheduled at all and alcohol and tobacco, it doesn't even fit in there anywhere. I don't get it, to be honest. But Canna-Talk ND with Wilson, that's what you're strapped into. Normally, I'd put you into musical breaks and we'd have like a smooth transition through this thing. But there might not even be a 420 essential intro. I'll just be talking and then try to figure out how to get out of here. I might get out of here a little early because I don't know that I can talk a whole hour. I'm going to try it. This is also from Cannabis Moment. But before I do that, let me read this. Programming on 95.9 Radio Free Fargo, KRFFLP has been underwritten by Drummer's Journey. Drummer's Journey offers percussion instruments, hardware, electronics, accessories, and more. They have full service for drummers, including repair, custom building, and lessons. Drummer's Journey is located at Highway 10 East Mall in Moorhead, Minnesota. Their hours are Monday through Thursday, 11 to 7, Fridays and Saturdays, 11 to 5, Sundays, noon to 5. For more info, check drummersjourney.com. They have a profile on Facebook. So anyway, that is what it is. Sorry. Again, I apologize for the distraction. I just got a lot of things going on here that I don't normally have to deal with. NFL is putting more money into research on CBD as an opioid alternative for players with concussions. The National Football League and its players' union announced on Thursday that they are jointly awarding another round of funding to support independent research on the therapeutic benefits. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to restart this thing. I don't know how to even start this thing. Let's see. I don't know. Let me see here. Shut down. All right. Well, I'm going to try shutting this thing down here and hopefully, okay, exiting the program. We'll stop text message update. Oh, we said there. Okay, let's see. Okay, I guess. All right. Okay, folks. I've shut the thing down. We'll see if we can do it here. If not, it is what it is. I'm also, and I apologize, but I just need to restart everything, and hopefully it is what it is. But at least I'm live and you guys can hear me. If not, I apologize. But I just shut my stinking computer off, so now I don't have articles. However, I can go on my phone. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Man, I am just having some serious issues. So let's check this out. This is from MaryJane.com. And this is airline employees reportedly made $10K a week stealing cannabis from travelers' luggage. 2 United Airlines cargo agents have been accused of stealing massive hauls of cannabis from checked luggage and reselling it on the black market. The baggage handlers, Joel Lamont Dunn and Adrian Webb, were charged with conspiracy to distribute, and where are we at? With conspiracy to distribute a controlled substance Okay, sorry. At the U.S. District Court in Northern California on June 9th, the Justice Department alleges that the two men regularly stole vast quantities of cannabis from passengers' luggage while working regular shifts. Charging documents identified Dunn as the conspiracy's mastermind and Webb as his right-hand man. You got to have a right-hand man. The two reportedly enlisted 3 or more employees to help them with their plans over the course of 3 years. The workers would reportedly identify luggage that contained contraband cannabis. They'd swipe the bud from the baggage and then offload it into 20-gallon trash bags. The stolen bud was then resold on the black market. And I'm going to try to play some music now and see if this works. And then it'll be 4:20, and then I'll come back and work through the segment. Let's give it a shot. Here's Miles Away, Old Crow Medicine Show. All right, I'm back, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if we got it or not, but we're going to do the best we can. And it's 4:20. You know what time it is now. It's time for Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. Every Thursday, get in here, 4:20, open a big fat bag of cannabis news. And that's what's happening as we speak. So get ready. Get your ears on. It's time to do the thing. We'll see you on the other side of this. Peace.
Hey, it's Phil from Cannaheads. Like this episode? Hit that like button. And if you enjoy the show, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on cannabis news, local and national. Listen live on 95.9 in the Fargo, North Dakota region from 4 to 5 p.m. on Thursday. For our non-Fargo region friends, you can listen on your favorite podcast platform. Just search Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. Now enjoy the show.
And hey, everybody. Hey, I made it. But now I don't have any articles, but we're going to struggle through this thing because that's how we do it. Okay. Man. I can't believe all the things that have gone wrong today. Anyway. Here's how this, let me start over. This is the airline employees reportedly made $10K a week stealing from travelers' luggage. 2 United Airline cargo agents have been accused of stealing massive hauls of cannabis. And I just realized I've got to do something here, and I apologize again. But I want to hear this song, so I'm going to play this song, and then we're going to do it for real. The Pirates Who Don't Do Anything, 95.9. The Pirates Who Don't Do Anything, Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. We're having some difficulties here on this hour, but we're pulling through it. We're making it happen. And we're going to talk about cannabis and the benefits of cannabis, so help me if it's the last thing I do. But that was the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything, Reliant K. That kind of made me feel a little better. I got an article up while that was happening. So it is what it is. We're going to keep talking about this. Airline employees, they reportedly made $10K a week stealing cannabis from travelers' luggage. So, charging documents identified Dunn as the conspiracy's mastermind. The two reportedly had listed 3 or more employees to help them with their plans over the course of 3 years. The workers would reportedly identify luggage that contained contraband cannabis, swipe the bud from the baggage, and then offload it into 20-gallon trash bags. The stolen cannabis was then resold on the black market for maximum profit. Now, man, first of all, how obvious is it to find it? How are they spotting all this stuff? And we're talking like, that's a lot. $10K a week? $40,000 a month? We're in the millions now, just catching cannabis coming through in baggage. That's crazy. I wonder if there's any openings at Hector. Just kidding. But seriously. So, it's kind of funny because the operation didn't stay secret for long. In June 2021, thieves robbed Dunn and Webb at gunpoint in the airport employee parking lot and stole some cannabis that the agents had just stolen from passengers. Now, who are these cats? They just went hanging in the airport bushes, this don't look normal. Hey, what's up with this 20-gallon trash bag thing every Thursday at 7? Who's got all... What? Just crazy that the thieves got shook down. All right, so the operation didn't stay secret for long. In June 2021, thieves robbed Dunn and Webb at gunpoint in the airport employee parking lot and stole some cannabis that the agents had stolen from the passengers. The cargo agents reported the robbery to the cops, which is funny, but they didn't mention the cannabis, of course. Then in October 2022, the FBI nabbed 2 unnamed co-conspirators who were attempting to bring 30 pounds of vacuum-sealed cannabis out of the airport. One of the other cargo agents involved in the scheme eventually ratted out his co-conspirators to the FBI. The unnamed informant told the feds that the Dunn originally approached him with the idea in 2020. The informant said Dunn paid them $2,000 a shift for helping to steal the cannabis and would cough up even more for big hauls. The scheme was so lucrative that the informant was soon raking in up to $10,000 a week. Crazy. Airport security footage also showed Dunn, Webb, and the other conspirators regularly moving large black trash bags out of the secure area of the airport and loading them into their personal vehicles. After enough evidence mounted up, the feds moved in and arrested the 2 agents for the role in conspiracy. Dunn was released on $75,000 bail, and Webb's bail was set at $50,000. A trial date has not yet been set. The fact that the alleged conspirators were able to make so much bank off their scheme highlights the sheer quantity of cannabis that airline passengers were regularly attempting to travel with. Legal Cali cannabis fetches a hefty price in the U.S. states that haven't legalized cannabis yet, and I suppose, and even in some states that have. In New York City, many of the illegal cannabis shops that have sprung up proudly sells legally packaged Golden State Cali style. A lot of this smuggled cannabis also being flown out of the country. Man, so like I reported in the first 3 months of 2023, UK cops busted more than 24 people, 50 to 100 pounds in their checked luggage. But how is these cats, Dunn and Webb, finding it? They're like, how do they know? I mean, how do you know? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But anyway, what other article can I read? And I'm realizing I'm getting old because I'm trying to read these now off of my stinking phone because the computer went down. And the stinking lettering is super small. I got to almost take my glasses off just to do it. So, a Georgia man last week was sentenced to 3 years in the federal prison in order to pay more than $2 million in restitution for his role defrauding farmers in a hemp business venture. Jackson Garth was found to have misrepresented his business, Verde Leaf, which is a great name, to farmers that had entered into contracts with him, claiming that the company had contracts and distribution deals with food, pet, and pharmaceutical companies, and he did not. Ultimately, he was unable to finalize any contracts and therefore was unable to process the hemp or pay most of the farmers for their crops. Garth was released from federal prison in 2017 for charges related to healthcare fraud and almost immediately formed Verde Leaf. I mean, what? This guy sounds like a real winner, huh? So let's see. Let's talk about this. This is from High Times. Study. As cannabis reform spreads, young people still try tobacco and alcohol first. According to a new study, it would appear that alcohol and tobacco are the real gateway drugs. It goes without saying that spreading reform and adult use legalization over the past decade is transforming the way we look at cannabis and increasing its accessibility. Throughout this new journey, the opposition has regularly brought up concerns around increased underage access. While many studies have already worked to debunk that more legal cannabis innately means higher use among minors and young adults, a new study looks a bit broader. They looked at a bunch of people, more than 8,000 young adults. Ultimately, the research shows young people typically try alcohol or tobacco before they experiment with cannabis. So, there you go. No studies, to our knowledge, have examined whether using cannabis before alcohol and tobacco compared to using cannabis at the same age risks of reporting current polysubstance use. So, there you have it. Now, I know you guys don't know that you want it, but let's talk about the Tiger King. He's running for president. You know, he's also in prison for 22 years for conspiring to kill his nemesis, also a tiger zoo owner. But he's officially running for president, and if elected, he promises to make cannabis his number one priority, which is kind of funny because, you know, if you became president, maybe getting out of prison earlier should be maybe your number one priority. But he has worked hard to capitalize on the success of the Netflix show and has continued to release music, collect donations, and sell merch from jail. He vows to fight first to decrim cannabis nationally so that people like the ones he's met in federal prison no longer serve federal time for coming to Colorado, purchasing legal cannabis from a dispensary, then taking it home to Wyoming or anywhere else, which currently would land you in a federal prison, no matter the amount. One person in mind he is fighting for is the memory of Justin Theo, who was on his way home from federal prison on a cannabis charge, was held at a federal holdover in Oklahoma. There he was beaten and tased by the staff and locked in a dark shower, screaming for help until he hung himself. Exotic also touts the economic benefits of cannabis legalization. He said these states have put this revenue to good use, funding schools, infrastructure, social justice, and the like. Colorado's been a prime example of what can be done with tax money made from the legalization of cannabis. Now, I don't always agree with his outfit choices, but he seems to have the right idea when it comes to cannabis legalization. So, here's a story from MaryJane.com. Colombian rescuers use ayahuasca to find 4 children lost after Amazon plane crash, which is crazy. Indigenous Colombia's family used ayahuasca to help find 4 missing children who were stranded in the Amazon jungle over like 40. It took 6 searchers 16 days to even find the wreckage, so it took like 40 days. It was 3 adults, 3 children, 4 and 13, and 1 11-month-old baby. When the rescuers finally found the wreckage, all adults had died, but they had found signs that the 4 children all survived the crash, which was crazy. Helicopter was dropping boxes of food into the jungle for kids to find. Searchers fanned out with dogs. After 39 straight days of fruitless searching, they turned to an ancient tradition. Henry, a volunteer, he suggested, I don't know what that was. He suggested they take ayahuasca. He says the trip really takes place in very special moments. It is something very spiritual. So they tried it. The father of the 2 youngest children drank a batch, and after several hours, he said that he had not learned anything. But on the following day, Elder Jose drank the rest and did have a vision. He told them that rescuers would find the children that very day. Rubio was right. Hours later, rescuers discovered the 4 children about 3 miles away from the crash site. And even though the children were all under the age of 13, they had survived 40 full days in the jungle, which is insane. Kids were able to pull off this feat because they were a member of an indigenous tribe and already had learned how to survive in the jungle. They collected rainwater in a plastic bottle, which how did that end up in the jungle? I don't know. And foraging for fruits and seeds. And so finding enough high-quality food, building shelters, and keeping away from harm's way for 40 days would challenge most people, never mind 3 children and an 11-month-old baby. Isn't that crazy? Let's see what other articles I got for you. Let's read this one. And we are getting through this show. Surf's Up. This is from High Times. Uruguayan? European? I'm a Russian European. Uruguayan authorities find cocaine smuggled inside surfboards. The bust, 6 surfboards, more than 100 pounds of cocaine. That is a lot of marching powder. Law enforcement officials last week said they busted an international drug ring that had a gnarly, that's a surfboard reference, way of smuggling its contraband inside surfboards. The BBC reports that the Uruguayan police have arrested 3 Italians with the help from counter-narcotics police in Spain. Sniffer dogs had alerted officers in Uruguay to 6 surfboards containing a total of 50 kilos. It's 110 pounds of the cocaine. Police allowed 1 board to be dispatched in order to track down those received it. The dogs alerted their handlers to suspicious package. Officers said the boards were uncharacteristically heavy, and when they passed them through a scanner, they spotted hidden packages inside. 2 Italian nationals were arrested by police as they went to pick up the boards. A 3rd Italian citizen who police say dispatched the drugs from Uruguay to Europe was detained in Italy. So that's got a happy ending to it, don't it? But man, I mean, the ways people will use to get things in that are ingenious, really, But because I don't know that I know what a surfboard would weigh. What a surfboard's supposed to weigh like. I think you could put pounds in there. I ain't gonna know. Who would know? I don't know. So let's talk about this one. This is from Ganjapreneur. Vermont increases home grow limits and expands access for cannabis patients. You can now cultivate a total of 12 plants, up to 6 mature at once, and added PTSD to the program's qualifying conditions list. Medical cannabis patients in Vermont can now grow 12 plants, up to 6 mature, and medical cannabis products can now contain up to 100 milligrams of THC. Shout out to Governor Phil Scott, allowed to become law without his signature. The bill also adds post-traumatic stress disorder to the state's medical cannabis qualifying conditions list. So there you have it. There you have it. So let's see if we can get something off Cannabis Moment here. Maybe not. Let's go back. Let's read this. This is interesting. Trump defends his proposed death penalty for drug sellers before being reminded that woman he pardoned would have been killed, which is a lot of kind of gobbledygook, but it is interesting. See, I don't know here. Former President Trump seemed confused during a recent interview when he was confronted with the fact that his proposed plan to impose a death penalty on drug traffickers, and I feel like what any of these guys up there are talking about is they're talking about fentanyl, really. You know, I mean, they gotta be. Because, I mean, Portland, it's legal. You can buy meth, coke, and the hair and the white horse in Oregon. You can't kill everybody there, can you? You just wipe out Portland? How do you do that? So anyway, speaking with Fox News host, Trump first defended his extreme position that drug traffickers should be quickly convicted and executed using stinking countries like China and Singapore, which they have what? For enforcing the lethal penalty against drug offenders. So, I don't know. You know, we can have a different conversation. We talk about fentanyl and that crocodile and the bath salts and whatever. But once we deschedule cannabis and it's no longer considered a drug in that sense, well, then we're good to go, I guess. I mean, I don't know, though. I mean, doesn't a life have value? I mean, I thought we were founded on that, to be honest. You know, I don't know when you're supposed to whack people. But if it's, I don't know, man. But I feel like that's a crazy position to take. We're going to execute drug traffickers. I mean, I feel like if we're going to execute people, let's go with the child molesters and stuff. You know, like the crazy ones. I don't know. But anyway, Trump says, I focused on a nonviolent crime. He said that Johnson, who was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole over her role in a cocaine trafficking ring, got treated terribly and unfairly, equating her treatment to his own, as he faces multiple blah, blah, blah. Trump said that Johnson's trafficking activity was mostly cannabis, though her convictions largely concerned alleged cocaine sales. And Baer reminded the president that she'd be killed under your plan. He goes, what? As a drug dealer? He goes, no, under that. It would depend on the severity. Okay. She's technically a former drug dealer. She had multi-million-dollar cocaine rings, so even Alice, she can't do it, then said she wouldn't be killed because the death sentence policy wouldn't be retroactive and would start as now. She wouldn't have been a dealer. Now, she wasn't much of a dealer because she was sort of like, I mean, honestly, she got treated terribly. She treated terribly. She was treated sort of like I get treated, but she was treated very unfairly. She wouldn't have been a dealer now. I ain't good at that. I was trying to work on it. Maybe I could do it, Trump. The exchange is another example of the enigmatic drug policy worldview of the former president, who at one point more than 30 years ago said the country needs to legalize cannabis to win the war on drugs. And so I don't know what's going on with this, but we'll see. We'll see how things play out. I was going to tell you guys about this thing in Wisconsin, if I can find it here. Wisconsin Supreme Court rules cannabis odor enough to justify search, even though hemp and CBD is legal in Wisconsin, and a lot of states aren't allowing searching as probable as smell as a probable cause. Wisconsin Supreme Court ruled this week that the scent of cannabis alone constitutes probable cause to justify search by police, despite the legalization of other products such as hemp that have similar odor. See? So the court's conservative majority ruled in a 4-3 decision that police officers in Marshfield, Wisconsin, had enough probable cause to search a defendant after detecting the smell of cannabis. He was driving and declined to exclude evidence discovered during the warrantless search. So they gained, they found that the evidence gained was not inadmissible because officers could not be certain if they smelled cannabis, which is still illegal, or hemp, or CBD, flower. The court handed down the decision on Tuesday. A man who was pulled over for speeding. The officers state that while talking, they detected a burn odor. He said he had a CBD vaping device. They noticed a bulge in his pants. Hey, you. After closer examination, they found packets of fentanyl and cocaine. So they charged him with possession of narcotics, and although he was not charged with possession of cannabis. Okay. So I don't know. What do you think about that? You know, does he get to just get off with having horrible drugs? For the sake of what? I don't know, you know, but I'm just giving you the news. I had something here to talk about, but I can't find it anymore. You've been listening to a rough hour of Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. However, I persevere no matter what, and we got her through. Hopefully, when I hit start on my play-out music, everything will be groovy, and I'll be able to get out of here. Programming on KRFF, LPFM, Radio Free Fargo, 95.9 FM has been underwritten by Flatland Guitar in Lutherie. Flatland Guitar is your full-service guitar shop and your exclusive dealer for Yamaha, Taylor, and Paul Reed Smith guitars and other brands. They sell guitars on consignment. They take trade-ins and have a full-service on-site repair center. Check out Flatland Guitar in Lutherie on Facebook or visit them in person at their location at 1450 25th Street South in Fargo. Again, Canna-Talk ND with Wilson every Thursday. Despite technical difficulties, I got you the news this week in cannabis. And now I'm going to play a little song. I'll come back and tuck you in. This is brand new from the Woods. This is White Winter Melody on 95.9. Welcome back, everybody. White Winter Melody by Woods. That's brand new. Between the Past and White Winter Melody, there you have it on KRFF 95.9, RadioFreeFargo.org, streaming everywhere on the blue and green marble. We can get into your ear hole here, and we do a good job of it. And we're going to keep doing it. After me, Stinky Arts Music Mart. And there's other stuff happening this Thursday, so hang out with us. Do what you do. Keep us locked. Keep us rocked. Canna-Talk ND with Wilson. That's what we got through today. We talk about cannabis, the benefits of cannabis, and general cannabis news. I believe God created cannabis for us to use as we see fit, and I show him props every Sunday. Antioch Church, 11 a.m., 417 Main Avenue. I'm on skin duty. Skin duty. Stick duty. I suppose it's skin duty. The skins. Yeah, the skins. But anyway, this show is brought to you by Black Cottage Alchemy, blackcottagealchemy.com. Black Cottage Alchemy on Facebook, 1,600 mgs of CBD in the body butter. Thank you for sponsoring this show. Educate yourselves on the benefits of cannabis so you can educate others on said benefits. I'm going to call this a day. I'm going to get out of here. Minnesota, 23rd state to legalize. If you're right around this area, that's a big win. It'll be interesting. It'll just be neat to just watch how things change on a border when that happens. You know, I'm just kind of curious from a socioeconomic standpoint, kind of what'll happen, especially in smaller towns like, say, Breckenridge, which, you know, everybody on the North Dakota side seems to treat the Minnesota side inferiorly. So it'll be kind of neat for them to get one up. All of a sudden, their businesses are burgeoning because of cannabis that you decided was too bad to have over here. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Next Thursday, I'll be back in 4 o'clock. Right after me now, Stinky Arts Music Mart. I'll be back. You guys have been great. It's David Allen, Judgment Day. Peace.